Many of you have expressed deep anger and disappointment. Many of you are upset that someone who attempted to destroy our democracy was invited to sit on a stage in front of a crowd of Republican voters to answer questions and predictably continued to spew lie after lie after lie. And I get it. It was disturbing.
CNN is going to lecture us about lying. CNN, who lied about the Hunter laptop story, the Hunter Biden laptop story, said it was Russian disinformation. This is a large organization with a lot of resources. They could have easily validated the Hunter Biden laptop story. It would have just taken a little journalism. There's a whole lot of evidence. There was someone who collaborated everything, who was an ex-business partner of theirs, who was brought by a reputable news organization, so they knew the Hunter Biden laptop story was real, but they told their viewers, they told prospective voters that it was Russian disinformation. And then they talk about a threat to democracy, undermining democracy. The greatest threat to democracy we have is the end of the independent journalist. The greatest threat to democracy is coordinated mainstream media that lies to the American people. How dare CNN lecture anybody on lying? And let's talk, I'm going to bring up the greatest lie I've ever seen in media, the most dishonest media coverage I have ever seen. And that was on Nick Sandmann, the Covington kid with the MAGA hat. And here's the video I put together, and you're going to see some passion in this video, because I don't know about you, but I don't like being lied to. When the media, when news organizations, people are supposed to be trusted sources of news, intentionally lie. I don't know about you, but that really pisses me off. So how dare Anderson Cooper go up here and give some kind of lecture about Trump lying? Oh, yeah, like Biden hasn't told lies. Look at Joe Biden's in 1988, how he was laughed off the stage when he ran for president in 1988 because he was caught in all the lies. And he hasn't changed. And you look at all the lies in the media, and this bozo is going to talk about, oh, Donald Trump lied. Well, here's the coverage that I put together on the Nick Sandmann, and like I said, the most dishonest media coverage I've ever seen.
Today is just a sad day. Tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of people hated on a kid that they knew nothing about, hated on a kid because of a 30-second video clip and hearsay. And it's embarrassing and it's disgusting how easily manipulated, how easily conned these people are. And the hatred was off the charts, wanting physical violence on this kid, wanting this kid completely destroyed over something that he never did. I'm going to show you some coverage from CNN and then clips that show they're lying. And I am going to say that CNN lied. This is a major news organization. This isn't some mom and pop newsstand down the street. They know how to check stories. They have the means of checking these stories out. And I have to believe that they knew the truth and chose to intentionally lie.
We are hearing from a Native American elder and Vietnam War veteran speaking to CNN after a disturbing viral video shows a group of teens harassing and mocking him in the nation's capital. Here's the video sparking outrage on social media right now. Nathan Phillips was beating his drum and singing an American Indian protest song. And this was on Friday on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial when he saw a clash erupting between a group of teenage students and 4 African-American young men preaching about the Bible and oppression.
4 African-American young men preaching about the Bible and oppression. Sounds really innocent, doesn't it? Well, that is so distorted, so misleading. This was a hate group, and I'm going to show you some video clips of this hate group, and warning, there is hate speech from this hate group, and you'll see the preacher has gray hair in his beard, being an indicator, gray hair being an indicator that they're not young. These guys are in their 30s and 40s.
Before you started worshiping totem poles, You was worshiping the true living God.
That's right.
Before you became an idol worshiper, you was worshiping the true and living God. And this is the reason why this land was taken away from you. Because you worship everything except the Most High.
Hey, as soon as he get too close, I'm gonna knock him off that joint and I'm gonna fuck him up.
You want to wave high? A bunch of incest babies. This is a bunch of future school shooters. On the back of your dollar bill, it says, "In God we trust," but you give faggots rights. The Bible condemns homosexuality, man. And understand, America will burn. Thus saith the Lord.
So they're gonna be
Now
running
what
with
the hell
Christ
we got over here?
We got the damn preacher doing a prayer circle.
What the hell is going on here? Now this is a peace circle? Kumbaya? Ain't gonna be no peace until blood is shed. Because you gotta give up this land that's stolen. If you're a bunch of child molesters, if you're a bunch of faggots, if you're a bunch of dykes, the Lord said your prayer ain't being heard. You don't keep the commandments of God. That's why America will burn. You want to pray for a land that's about to be up in smoke. Your reward is your Catholic Church being tax exempt, being child molesters and getting away with it.
That's right.
You've been raping children since 1492.
That's right.
In the Catholic Church.
That's right.
So where to even begin? You saw in that first clip, they're harassing Native Americans, saying that the reason why they got conquered is because they didn't believe in a true God, which according to them is the God of the Bible. The Native Americans knew nothing about the Bible. The Bible was introduced to them by the Europeans. So obviously that statement is so painfully ignorant, but as you can see, this is just an ignorant, hateful, scumbag group. But let's go back to the narrative that everybody's been shown, that this kid came up and harassed this Native American elder who's also a veteran.
Phillips says he immediately sensed danger.
When I was there and I was standing there and I seen that group of people in front of me and I seen the angry faces and all of that, I realized I had put myself in a really dangerous situation.
Really? Angry faces? Dangerous situation? Let's take a look. So the drummer Nathan Phillips goes up to this group, sidesteps, and then stops at this kid, and they kind of stare at each other. And then you hear a guy who's part of Nathan Phillips' group harassing, saying, "Oh, white people, go back to Europe. This isn't your land." That's a dangerous situation. This is like some type of violent mob he's dealing with. These are just a bunch of high school kids waiting on the steps for their bus to come.
You know, it's like, here's a group of people who were angry at somebody else, and I put myself in front of that, and all of a sudden, I'm the one who's all that anger and all that wanting to have the freedom to just rip me apart. You know, that was scary.
Nathan Phillips is not a hero. He's not a victim. He's either delusional or he's a flat out liar.
Then Phillips describes the tense moments now being replayed over and over again online when a young man got right in his face.
A downright lie, as you can see so clearly with the video footage. Nathan Phillips went up to the group, sidestepped, and then stopped in front of this kid. This kid did not confront him. He wasn't belligerent. He didn't go up to him in any way, shape, or form. How can CNN, a major news organization, not know this? How much research would have taken it? This, I have to believe, is a downright lie. It is disgusting.
Watch.
When I started going forward and that massive groups of people started separating and separating and moving aside to allow me to move out of the way or to proceed, this young feller put himself in front of me and wouldn't move.
Let's see the footage again from a different angle. So you saw a little bit of tomahawk chop going on, very popular at Braves games and a few other sports organizations. So the worst thing you can say these high school kids did was a little bit of the tomahawk chop. And they probably saw Native Americans. That's probably what they thought about. Whatever, were they intentionally being disrespectful by doing this or dopely doing it without realizing? People can make their own conclusions, but once again, this is the worst that they did. And you see this guy sidestepping. He's sidestepped by five kids so far. He still hasn't come up to the kid in question, the one who's supposed to be the worst human being in the world.
And so I could, if I took another step, I would be putting my person into his presence, into his space.
If I took another step, you were stepping sideways. If you took another step, you would have just kept going to the side. That's probably what this kid thought he was doing. He's probably there staring at him, smiling, thinking he's just going to keep going. And then he just stands there looking at him. So they spend all this time staring at each other. And the kid probably doesn't know what to do. Also, Nathan Phillips was claiming that they were chanting, "Build a wall." There's absolutely, you saw the video, there's no evidence of that at all.
And I would have touched him. And that would have been the thing that the group of people would have needed to spring on me.
Oh yeah, those high school kids were a scary bunch. I thought they were going to cannibalize them.
Elected Congresswoman Deb Haaland is among the first Native Americans elected to Congress, and she reacted on Twitter, writing, "This veteran put his life on the line for our country. The students' display of blatant hate, disrespect, and intolerance is a signal of how common decency has decayed under this administration. Heartbreaking."
When you are a member of Congress, you have people at your disposal, people who can check on stories to see if they're legitimate or not, so you don't come out looking like an idiot. What this congressperson did was completely irresponsible. And now we're going to see some condemnation from members of the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church has a reputation for protecting people who are guilty, and here we have representatives attacking people who are innocent. Great representation of justice. Let's hear it for the Catholic Church. Folks, how can so many people be this easily gullible, easily manipulated, easily conned? My proposed solution is that journalism, philosophy, and politics are required courses in high school. Something has to be done for people to think for themselves and do their own research, understanding what a primary source of history is, understanding what is a trusted source of knowledge. Something has to be done. This is not good. Confucius once said, "When everyone despises a person, you must look into the matter carefully. And when everyone celebrates a person, you must also look into the matter carefully." This is Jim Wall. Thanks for watching. Until next time.
Cisco, do we have to leave all our good friends now? Only until next time, Pancho. Adios, amigos.